Dakota Johnson has once again managed to capture the world's attention, and this time, it's with a look that is being called her boldest, most daring red carpet appearance yet. On a glamorous night in New York City, she arrived at the prestigious Caring for Women dinner, an annual event that brings together some of the biggest names in fashion, film, and philanthropy, and she did not simply attend, she dominated the red carpet. Her choice of outfit was a sheer, floor-length black lace gown designed by Gucci, a brand she has been closely associated with for years. The gown was a masterpiece of craftsmanship, featuring delicate floral embroidery woven through transparent fabric, leaving very little to the imagination. What truly set this apart from her past looks was how unapologetically revealing it was. Underneath, Dakota opted for a bold bra and high-cut underwear that were completely visible, and while that description alone might sound risque, the entire ensemble was balanced with elegance through long sleeves, a turtleneck collar, and carefully chosen accessories. It was not just an outfit, it was a statement. Dakota Johnson, who has spent years evolving from the young star of 50 Shades of Grey into one of Hollywood's most stylish and versatile actresses, appeared to be telling the world that she has nothing to hide. This was confidence turned into couture, a calculated risk that walked the fine line between provocation and sophistication. Her hair was styled into a neat updo, a deliberate choice that ensured all eyes remained on the dress and its stunning transparency. The look was accented by emerald jewelry that gleamed under the flashbulbs, giving her an almost regal quality, even while embracing one of fashion's most scandalous trends, the naked dress. But why did this particular look cause such a stir? Dakota has worn daring fashion before. She has donned plunging necklines, gowns with revealing cutouts, and sheer fabrics that teased the imagination. Yet this one was different. It was more audacious, more fearless, because it stripped away the layers of subtlety and put everything on display. Many critics and fashion journalists quickly labeled it her most daring red carpet moment yet, and it's easy to see why. In a sea of glamorous gowns, hers stood out not just for its beauty, but for its raw power. She wasn't simply wearing a see-through dress, she was commanding the narrative around it. The reactions were immediate. On social media, fans and followers flooded platforms with comments ranging from astonishment to admiration. Many praised her confidence, calling her an icon of modern fashion and body positivity. They applauded her ability to look powerful, not vulnerable, in such a revealing look. Others expressed shock, questioning whether fashion has pushed boundaries too far, whether the line between art and exposure has become blurred. And yet, that is exactly the power of fashion, to spark conversation, to create moments that people talk about long after the event is over. Dakota Johnson did not simply show up at a dinner, she created a cultural flashpoint. To understand the magnitude of this moment, it's important to place it in the context of Dakota's style evolution. Early in her career, she leaned toward more classic Hollywood glamour, sleek gowns, minimalist silhouettes, safe but stylish red carpet choices. As she grew more confident in her roles and her public persona, her fashion began to evolve. The 50 Shades era painted her as a rising star who was often associated with sultry looks, but in recent years, she has shifted toward a bold, experimental aesthetic that blends elegance with provocation. Her longtime partnership with Gucci has been a driving force behind this transformation. Under the creative direction of Alessandro Michele, Gucci has embraced maximalism, eccentricity, and daring cuts, and Dakota has often been the perfect muse for this philosophy. She has worn everything from embroidered capes to sequin jumpsuits to vintage-inspired gowns, but this see-through lace ensemble represents the pinnacle of that daring collaboration. It's also worth noting the symbolic weight of where and when she chose to debut this look. The Caring for Women dinner is not just any red carpet event. It is a gathering focused on raising funds to combat gender-based violence and support survivors. In this setting, Dakota's sheer gown takes on layered meanings. Some interpret it as a declaration of empowerment, a rejection of shame, a visual embodiment of the idea that women should be able to dress as boldly as they choose without fear of judgment or harm. The fact that she appeared so confident, so comfortable in a room filled with global leaders, celebrities, and fashion icons reinforces the message that vulnerability can coexist with strength. Public fascination with the naked dress trend also plays a role here. Celebrities like Rihanna, Beyoncé, Kim Kardashian, and most recently Margot Robbie have all turned sheer gowns into viral fashion moments. Each time, the conversation reignites about whether these dresses are statements of empowerment or simply sensationalism. Dakota Johnson's interpretation leans toward empowerment because while the dress is undeniably revealing, it is also undeniably elegant. The high collar, the long sleeves, the intricate embroidery, these choices suggest a balance, a deliberate artistic design rather than shock value. She is not just showing skin, she is showcasing a vision of femininity that is unapologetically bold. This wasn't the first time Dakota had leaned into see-through looks. At earlier events, she experimented with sheer panels, delicate lace overlays, and gowns that played with transparency in subtle ways. However, this time, there was nothing subtle. This was Dakota embracing full transparency, literally and figuratively. And that's part of what makes it so captivating. She has built a career on balancing vulnerability with strength, whether in her acting roles or her public appearances. Now, her fashion reflects that same balance. The world is watching not just because she looks stunning, but because she is embodying the confidence that so many aspire to. Fashion experts were quick to analyze every detail. The emerald jewelry was interpreted as a pop of color symbolizing strength and renewal. The sleek updo was described as a strategic choice, preventing the look from tipping into chaos. The decision to wear black, the ultimate color of sophistication, grounded the daring transparency, making the entire outfit appear less about exposure and more about artistry. These details matter because they highlight that Dakota Johnson is not simply chasing shock value. She is making choices that are both provocative and refined, choices that spark conversation but also earn respect. When we talk about Dakota Johnson's daring look, we also have to talk about her place in Hollywood right now. She is in the midst of one of the most interesting phases of her career. With roles in films like Madam Web, Cha-Cha Real Smooth, and upcoming projects that continue to diversify her portfolio, she has cemented herself not only as a talented actress but also as a cultural figure who knows how to stay relevant. Fashion has become part of her storytelling. Every public appearance becomes an extension of her identity, a way of shaping how the world perceives her. This latest look is not an accident. It's a calculated, intentional choice that reinforces her image as fearless, confident, and unforgettable. Of course, not everyone was a fan. Some critics called the look too much, too revealing, too risky for a charity event. That's the nature of daring fashion. It divides opinion. Yet, in dividing opinion, it succeeds. The purpose of fashion at this level is not simply to please. It is to provoke thought, to challenge norms, to expand the boundaries of what is considered acceptable. Dakota Johnson's gown did exactly that. Love it or hate it, nobody could ignore it. The comparisons to other celebrities also highlight the moment's importance. Margot Robbie, on the very same day, appeared in her own sheer gown at a separate event, leading fashion magazines to declare that the naked dress trend is officially dominating 2025. These parallel moments suggest that sheer fashion is not just a fleeting fad but a cultural shift, a reflection of how celebrities use transparency both literally and metaphorically to communicate boldness, freedom, and control over their own image. In many ways, Dakota Johnson's see-through gown is the perfect encapsulation of where she is right now, a woman in control of her career, her image, and her narrative. She no longer needs to prove herself as an actress. She has already done that. Now, she can use fashion as a form of artistic expression, as a way of connecting with audiences on a deeper level. By embracing transparency, she is embracing authenticity, signaling that she has nothing to hide. And so, what began as a simple fashion choice quickly became a defining cultural moment. Dakota Johnson's sheer black Gucci gown was not just her most daring look. It was a statement of confidence, a display of empowerment, and a reminder that fashion at its best is about more than fabric. It's about storytelling. This gown told a story of a woman who is unafraid to be seen, unafraid to be bold, and unafraid to take risks. Make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more celebrity updates just like this.